Not quite sure what that says, but that's where I am. Hi guys, what you doing? Just moseying by, are you? Having a good day? Very thorny trees. Take a look at this ground, dry and cracked, which makes me think that during the rains this area would be flooded. That's probably why there's so many trees here. These are all acacia trees. Hey, Rod here, thanks for joining me. It's Saturday the 13th of June. It's about 35 degrees and it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm just taking a hike in a small acacia. I'm going to call it a forest. I don't know if you'd call this a forest, but for the desert, something like this. Well, there's a whole group of trees. Even though they're not as concentrated as what you'd see in Canada, I guess it would still be a forest because you don't often see them like this, at least in this area. I'm just off a paved road, which is just right over there. My car is right over there. And this is the main entrance to the edge of the world. There's a gate up the road and it's blocked off, so I guess that's because of the COVID situation. Things are still closed. At the moment we're still on a curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's due to relax on the 21st of June, which is next week. So starting next week, I think we'll be able to stay out all night if we want to. Take a look at this. I'm not sure what this is. Actually, from the sound of it, I'm thinking that they're bees. Yes, that's what they are. Must be honeybees. Oh yeah, that's what they are. They're honeybees. Now I'm hoping I won't get stung. I don't know how aggressive these bees are. That's styrofoam in water, so that's so they can get their water. Yeah, that's what these are. They're honeybees. That's the only reason why they would be out here. Ow, I just got stung by one. I think I better get out of here. Yow! That hurt a little bit. Well, those were honeybees. And I got a little sting just from one of them. They're not particularly aggressive. I mean, if they were African bees, I'd be scared shitless. I pulled a little stinger out. It was in my, the pad of my thumb. Ooh. If I was allergic to bees, I'd be a bit worried, but I'm not. Well, I'm approaching. This must be to block cars from getting in. Yes, that's what it is. So I can walk in. Edge of the world is probably 15 to 20k that way, which would be the top of the Tuwaiq escarpment. Now it's only 8:10 in the morning, 35 degrees, so it's probably going to hit 40 plus again today. It's just getting warmer. I think officially the first day of summer is next week. I think it's June the 21st. If you wonder why I'm tinkling, that's a 1.25 liter thermos I have, ice cold juice in there. There's a light southerly breeze, south being that way, so the breeze is coming this way. And it's carrying with it a whiff, a scent of, if I was in Canada, I would say skunk. A faint skunky scent. Now I don't know what it is. Whether it's a type of vegetation. I mean, that way there's herds of goats and there's herds of camels, but it doesn't smell like either, so with any luck, I'll figure out what it is before the end of the day. Right now I'm on a big dry riverbed, a wadi. Look at how wide it is. So this would flood during the rains. I'm guessing it wouldn't get too deep, but it would get very wide. Leave no trace. I'm in a valley. I'll call it a valley. You see, you've got a ridge over there and a ridge over there, and it funnels in this way, so it looks to me like this whole area is a floodplain during the rains. I think this area would be beautiful when it was wet. It's always good to get to high ground so you can get an overview of the whole area. This is a really nice area. It's nice and flat, easy walking, lots of trees. I'm surprised it's taken me this long to find it. When I say find, I wasn't really looking for it, but I always like places with a lot of trees. I feel more secure when there's trees around. You can get out of the wind. They provide shade. They provide camouflage. I don't like to stick out like a sore thumb. That's one of the reasons why I wear these colors. You'd have a hard time seeing me from a distance. Anywho, that's the direction I've come from. Now look at this. This wadi goes on for kilometers. Then it turns the corner way up there. My guess is it keeps going. Nice and slowly desert. It's not particularly dangerous. Right where I am, there's not that many little rocks to slip on. It's just, you stub your foot and it makes you trip and you fall, you're in trouble. Plus I've got the camera to worry about. Now just of note, when you're going down areas like I am, rather than going straight down, it's easier to go on an angle. That way you can kind of follow, it's like steps. So you go along and then you just step down, go along, step down. It's a lot safer than if you try to go straight down. Another thing is, always keep your weight on the uphill side. So if you suddenly slip and fall, you want to fall this way. You want to fall into the hill. When I'm carrying my camera, I carry my tripod in my downhill hand and I'm leaning this way. So if I slip, I'll fall this way and I'll be able to grab a handhold or something like that. If I had the camera in this hand and I slip and I fall, I'm probably going to want to protect the camera, which could endanger myself by making me slip. Or I'll break the camera. So the idea is to lean this way into the hill. So if I fall, I'm not going anywhere. But if I fall the other way, I'm by myself, I'd be screwed. I wouldn't die, I don't think, but you know, sprain an ankle, break a leg, you know, breaking an arm, breaking a wrist is bad enough, but at least I'd be able to walk home or back to the car. But you know, you do something with your leg and it's going to be hop along Cassidy. So now I'm carrying my camera and I'm carrying it in my downhill, on my downhill side. And I've got my center of balance slightly facing uphill. I got a good pair of hiking boots on. They've got fairly soft rubber soles, so they don't slip too much. Of course, this would be a different story if it rained. If these rocks were wet, and my guess is they would get really slippery. Nice and slowly does it. Just make sure one foot's planted well before you take your step with your other foot. These trees, which I believe are acacia, are very spiky. I mean, if I banged into them, I'd just get scratched. It's 4 or 5 degrees cooler in these shady spots than it is in the sun. This is like walking on a pebbly beach. It's difficult walking right here. Now this is one big old tree that's toppled, probably during a rainstorm. It just got washed out. Some of the roots still go into the ground. Kind of looks like it's still alive, but depending on how long ago it happened. Yeah, if you look over here, you can see part of the, look at this, part of the root system there, part of the root system there, another part of the root system. So my guess is the tree is still alive. For how much longer? I see camel prints and what I think are goat prints. Well, it would either be goats or dogs. That's small. Boy, this is one big ass tree. Look at the size of that. I mean, oh, is this ever nice being in the shade. The wind's coming from this way, so the wind is kind of cooling me. Already the temperature, I've only just put my bag down here and the temperature's dropped 2 degrees. It takes a thermometer a few minutes to get to the proper temperature, but in the sun it was almost 39. Well, it just dropped to 35. So it does feel significantly cooler here in the shade. I brought a tarp with me. I brought my MSR tent poles. Not expecting this. Something like this, you don't need to provide your own shade. The sun's behind me. this is what I really like. It's like I have the whole place to myself. I can't hear any vehicles. I can't hear any people. I can't hear any camels or goats. I've seen quite a few camel tracks and goat tracks, so I think what I did see back there was goat poop. Goats are slightly different than sheep. Shotgun shell. Looks like a pretty new one too. Royal 36. Or Nagi. 7.5 shot. 7.5. That's what I would use for ruffed grouse. Italy. It's a 12 gauge. So somebody's been here fairly recently. Well, I found another shotgun shell. Pretty close to the other one. Well, this ice hasn't melted at all. This is a really good thermos. It's the first time I've actually carried one with me on a hike. I've got 2 liters of frozen, 2 liters of ice. Well, it's probably ice water by now. 2 1-liter platypuses in my bag, and they were completely frozen when I left the car. Well, the temperature here in the shade, at the moment it's dropped to just over 33 degrees, and it was almost 39 in the sun. So we're talking 6 degrees difference between in the sun and the shade. That's significant. Oh, this is so nice right now.